I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan.
You did.
You fucking,
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You visually transformed yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
That was weird.
Jeez.
I guess
room.
Talking about the
Big room live on Twitch. Yeah, the big room. You're watching the big room live on Twitch. Yeah. Shout out to the Rev in Manchester.
Yeah,
buddy. Welcome to the big room. We're back, Jack. You got the Monks brothers, you got the Hawk, and you got Monk McAdoo. It's up in the piece. Hey, what you got in your hand there? Good question. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What thought you see this?
This is the Wiggle Hop Zombie that BB got me.
Oh, nice.
But I infused it with pecans and a little bit of maple syrup.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah,
it's good. I'm gonna have a little sip of this. Whew, bro, I was
You can
tired.
sip on this. You can sip on that.
Yeah, man. So what is going on with TK?
Oh, not much. Well, that's not true. There's always something.
Did you make it to the show yesterday?
I didn't make it into the concert. I did not make it into the concert itself. I did not have the means to do such things. But it was awesome just being a part of the experience by helping set up. Oh, I helped you out there. I helped set up the show for Lynn's Electric Light Orchestra. Jeff Lynn is touring with his version of Electric Light Orchestra. And I did some stagehand work. And very minimal. I forgot how easy that can be when you're just a hired help stagehand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd almost forgotten how just pushing boxes, really.
Pushing
and
boxes.
waiting. Pushing boxes. It's great. Had some people that knew you, of course. And
they were like probably confused, like we swapped.
They were on the phone. Definitely, it's like just to make it clear, you're not King Ad Hoc. I'm like, no, I'm the Monk. All right, just checking, looking at your paperwork. But it was a cool experience. I just got off the phone with Scott from Acute Mania, who I co-hosted his show before. It's not on Twitch, it's on YouTube and such. And I think he's 4 or 5 years in, and he talks to musicians. I think like he's talked to, I can't remember how many different countries, and he only has a couple more states yet to do. Wow. Dream the Heavy has been on, and then I co-hosted with this one band called Inside the Trojan Horse, and they're like former members. They're touring artists, and they were nice. Touring with like Stained and stuff like that, and it was really interesting. But anyway, he's releasing his own music right now, just all just in his studio. It's kind of very like techno, kind of very driven, but he's and it has incorporated like Alan Watts quotes. He just discovered Alan Watts in his life not long ago, and he's going through this great metamorphosis the same way we all do did.
Yeah, when you hear Alan Watts' voice and you're like, is this guy real? He was real.
This guy is the best voice ever. And the best knowledge ever.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, and like great, but this cat Scott, just like, he's a good guy. Anyway, I just got the phone off the phone because he wants me to do the EP art for it. So we had our first little meeting about that. He's going to the studio hopefully to finish it up tonight. So that's cool. So that's going on. Beyond that, job hunting. I have a show coming up at Boxheart in October, and starting to advertise for that. Dream the Heavy just got WYEP sponsorship for the Winter Wonder Ball. They want to be a promoter for that, which is huge because, well, for the obvious reasons, WYEP is one of the best radio stations here in Pittsburgh because it's local, it's listener driven, and but that same night, it is December 21st, the winter solstice. That same night, they are also helping present Clinton Clegg, who we all know from the Common Heart. I think he's doing a big release that night too, at Mr. Smalls, and but they also want to do our stuff that same night instead of saying they're already doing something. You got a call? You got the missus?
Hold on a second. Hey, got somebody on the phone here.
Oh, hey, moms. Hello, moms.
There, she's had a strange week. I've had a strange week. We've all had a strange week, I guess. It's just been a weird week. But to top it off, we're streaming to 2 of our channels on Twitch and YouTube only. Something happened with our Facebook. It got disconnected, and I haven't been able to. And she asked me if we were going to stream, and that's why we're not streaming because it was on. But so I'm just going to put you down here, and then you can just listen on the phone if you want, Mom.
Sounds great.
All right. So then there she goes.
But if we're on YouTube, she'll be able to watch it in real time on YouTube.
Unless you can pull it up on YouTube, Mom. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Okay. If you
calling this is really good.
Yeah, YouTube, not Facebook. Okay.
Love you so much.
Love you.
All right.
Love you, Mom.
Love you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, she called and I realized that that wasn't happening here. So
right.
I got some weird feedback. Oh man, it's technology. It's great when it works, but boy, when it doesn't. My
alien
audio just for some reason disconnected here. My other laptop, the screen. I just got this laptop, and that laptop, the screen went. Like the screen's doing weird digital, like Max Headroomy kind of.
Oh no, technophobia.
It looks cool, but it's kind of unusable. Wow. Yeah. Oh, it just hit the bed. It just hit the bed. It just went to white blinds. Yeah, the whole monitor is gone. So
Vision, dreams of passion.
But anyway, man.
Anyway, yeah. That stuff, there's always stuff in the burner. What do you mean a weird week?
Oh, well, nothing crazy. I'll get to that, but I interrupted you were saying you're doing a Winter Wonder Ball with
WYP.
And WYP is going to sponsor it?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's
huge.
So cool. Are they going to do a live broadcast from there?
No, it just means that they'll be announcing it and little promos for it and stuff like that.
Feels sweet. I wish they would, because like we used to do live remote, the radio station, and like how cool would that be if somebody else would sponsor and put in money so that they could give the money to YEP for the live remote. So in between, they could be like, throughout the day, they could.
Oh man, Yeah.
It's just little 5 second, just little 2.5 to 5 second blips where they pop in and go, it's the live promo. So they'll promote it throughout the day. You'll get 20 mentions throughout the day. You can split it between, Friday and Saturday, and then they'll do a live remote from the event in which, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
At, Rourke Chevrolet. Instead of Chevrolet, it would be like, it would be like Mr. Smalls, and this band's on in the background, and they could do interviews. See, that's the shit. Like, if I was in charge of the radio station,
if I could make a video, the girls would love me. Remember Dave TV?
Oh yeah, nice.
Now, if
I just don't know why they don't. I know they can't do it for everybody and it takes money and all that stuff, but that would be freaking awesome. But the fact that they're involved at all is still awesome.
Pretty huge.
Still pretty good. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
We got next levels coming up. I just wish I had more time and bandwidth to participate in everything that I want to do, man. Whew.
Well, but yes, I want to create with you again. Tell me about your week.
Just can't believe it's Wednesday already. Like today, last night I went out. I got to think.
I liked your post yesterday, by the way. You kind of hanging out in Squirrel Hill.
Oh yeah, I think that was Monday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Or Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, because it was Sunday, and Monday. I took off some on Monday too, but yeah, no, Sunday I did a little thing. I just did some downtime, some me time, and I did a little on Monday too. I did Monday happy hour. It was Monday. Yeah, and then yesterday. It was just such a beautiful day on Sunday and Monday, and I'm just like, man.
Get it while you can.
Yeah,
I know that's my weather too, that low 70s.
Just feel like I'm, driving my life away for a sunny day. Woe's me.
Oh, me. Yeah.
So I was just like, man, this is freaking bullshit. Like, shit can't happen fast enough, man. We're pushing like Nizam and I are like trying to like push to get things happening on that side of like the real estate things, and people don't get back to you, and it's just agonizing. And and you have to rely on other people, and they're not doing their part.
Yeah.
And it's wild, man, so that was kind of last week. And then, but yeah, this week it's just, I don't know, just like I was working and then I did enjoy some of Monday. That was cool. And then last night, I got a text that my car is due for an oil change. And I looked and I was like, man, it is already another 6,000 miles.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, well, let me check my tires because I'm sure that's coming due too. And I went and I checked the tire, and like the thread is showing through my tires. Like my front tires got bald. Like I think it's because it was so hot last month that, and you're doing all the steering with your front tires. So they're going to.
Oh, right. It's grinding them on the hot pavement. Yeah.
I'm doing that. I lost a quarter of an inch of rubber.
Both of our cars too. Both of our cars are bald. We are just. I'm job hunting right now myself. We are in the negative. We're just like holding out, like waiting.
Holy smack. Yeah,
I know.
It's So then that was like last night when I got home. It was like midnight. I worked a split day, and it was all right. I could have went and did that thing with you, obviously, but I didn't want to. because I had injured my shoulder the week before and my wrist.
Oh, yeah.
Moving heavy tables and stuff for
Yeah.
that, you know, and it just healed. Like I've been working on my shoulder. I've been working on it, man. And it just like literally that day, I was like, got full range, not painful. I can do this and I can do this, and it's not, you know, and it's not painful. And I got rid of all the little supplementary locks and knots all through there using my tools. And I was like, I know it's just going to be pressing boxes, but if it's not, if I got to list something, I'm like, it's not worth it, man. I'll go make that $100 somewhere else.
Health is wealth.
And so that's why I didn't do that with you, but I'm glad that you were able to get on there. And I wish, I know that would have been awesome for you guys to see the show as well, because, you know, I know you guys are like way bigger fans than I am. But respect to the band. I mean, amazing music, amazing albums. Really, really, you know, I mean, it's one thing to have radio getting your back, but to make albums like on that level.
Oh, orchestral, man. Orchestral, so many layers. You listen to that work, and it's, you know, it came out during the, you know, that disco era when the symphony was getting involved. You know, Jeff Lynne said, because he was good buddies with George Harrison, obviously, you know, which we saw later with their, you know, the Traveling Wilburys, right? And all that era. Because Jeff Lynne was in the Traveling Wilburys. George Harrison wasn't, was he? No, it was just that same era. Anyway, but he said that Electric Light Orchestra, he said that he wanted to put a band together that if I Am the Walrus was like that song was the launching point for a band.
Wow.
That was like that song, that's the sound he wanted a whole band based out of. Like if that was
so cool, man.
Yeah. So that, and when I heard that years ago, I was like it just made me listen to them in more intently, like, oh my God, I could totally.
And that's how he got, and it's that pitch that got George Harrison. George Harrison was involved. Tom Petty.
Bob Dylan. And Roy Orbison. I know.
With Jeff Lynne, but what an amazing, you know, they had a cool sound, man. Yeah, amazing, like crazy lineup.
Yeah. ELO, man. Yeah, it's heavy stuff. What was I gonna say? Oh, it was great. You know how all things happen for a reason, obviously. You know, you put it out there and it's coming. I loved being in that scenario. When you're in an arena like that and setting up the stage for a band that, you know, has been around for decades, and you're looking at it and you see how
it comes together.
But also that it's not huge. Like I've played on stages that big that they're putting together. It doesn't have the whole show, but once you see it, and I've watched people's feeds, you know, from the show, it looks enormous. It looks so enormous because of the whole spectacle, and there's thousands and thousands of people. That space looks enormous. When it's empty, it's like, I got this. Like I could like no fear. Do you know what I mean? Like,
wow.
It's really cool. It's a great experience. I needed to stand there and experience that and think to myself,
great, man.
I could do that. You know, like whatever, just mental hurdle that is, you know,
especially knowing, like, I mean, you see all the money that's getting laid down to pay all those people to push everything in place and assemble it and all that. That is where the level comes in. But you're right. It is about the spectacle. The spectacle is kind of important as the music when you're doing live touring like that.
Oh, my goodness.
It has to conjure the imagination again.
Because they're not jumping around. Like, they're standing still on stage. They are planted exactly where they need to be. You know what I mean? Like, Jeff Lynne is not running around. He's not Mick Jaggering that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? but it's, the stage itself was a TV screen. They're standing on TV screens as well. That is really cool. Really cool. Anyway, it was just nice to have that gift of perspective of standing there and looking out and seeing all this, just seeing it and be like,
that's awesome, bro.
It's not overwhelming. Like
man, that's great, dude. I'm so glad I sent that to you because
thank you. I know. I thank you because I didn't look at my emails. I got an email about it and I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So it was
I woke up that morning. It was fresh, and I was like, I could have made the 9 o'clock one. I was up that early, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because I'm short. I just didn't feel up to it.
Yeah, smart. Anyway, it was a cool experience. But
I'm glad. That's awesome. It was meant for you, man. That's for sure.
It's a gift, total gift.
Dude, you could have split in for Jeff Lynn. That's
the one. So there's sound people, like a lot of Australians. Like who was doing their sound, whatever company, designed it and all that, like a lot of Aussies. And the one dude was like, you really look like our lead singer 20 years ago. Whatever. And I was like, it's awesome. And I was like, I get that a lot.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, it was cool.
All the way to the top. And I literally said it to you at the Ethnic Festival.
Yeah. The jerk said it. The jerk was saying it.
Yeah, because he did say that, and we were tired.
And his kid's a big fan.
Yeah,
yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. I couldn't believe that. Like we literally just talked about it, and then I was like, ELO.
Manifest.
Bro, I mean, and somehow it's connected outside of our vision, man. But yeah, bro. So then, just the weirdness of my week was like today, really. Like,
what's up? What happened?
Where last night I looked at my bald, like my tires were so bald, and then I was like, "Wow, how did that happen?" Like, it felt like overnight. Like, I was like, "Did somebody swap on my tires?" Like, how? Because I still had like a 1/4 inch of rubber on the back one, which is not a huge amount, but it's significant when you see bald and then you see a 1/4 inch of grooves.
Yeah.
And then
you see the back tires aren't that way. My back tires are fine.
That way. And I was like literally, but anyway, so then I was up a couple hours last night looking, and I was like, I'm gonna call. I was like, is it still under warranty? Because I got a brand new car. Well, brand new cars come with OEM tires, but these tires are like, they're only like 50,000 mile tires, and these things went in 25. I'm like, 25,000 miles I got on my car. I was like, that should be, but ironically, the tires that come with your car carry zero warranty. Zero warranty on that. So I was like, that's kind of, like they put cheapo tires on that will wear out, whatever. But clearly 25,000, because I wasn't really driving that heavy either. I'm not like ripping it or anything. I'm driving with passengers, So I just attribute it to the heat that I didn't get the stretch, but it was a surprise to me. Then it was a surprise. Like, I wasn't surprised that the dealership said 800 for a new set, but then I called like Tire Rack, and like they came in at like 725, like 750
for 2 tires.
No,
for 4 tires.
Yeah, for the whole set. Yeah, for all 4, and everything, getting rid of the old ones, putting the new ones on.
Right.
But I was like, son of a gun, man. So then I woke. I got so tired last night. I was
the
just
place out by us is always really good. The one that's up the road.
Oh, really?
Not the one that you went to for thing. It's right at the New Kensington Bridge.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You got that right
it's
there.
usually like 100 to 125, something like that, per tire.
Damn. Yeah, like I ended up going to Walmart because I have Costco, but I was like, every place I looked at that was cheap that I could get in the $500 range, they didn't have them in stock. They needed to move them from point A to point B. And it would only been one day, but I was like, I don't have a day.
Yeah.
Work. Well, I went out to the I checked with the dealer. Then I went to this place in Ross Park. And then they told me what they told me, you know, and then I was like, man, let me check some more. And I was like, I guess I got to try Walmart. I'm skeptical. I don't want to do Walmart. Went to Walmart. Terrible experience.
Oh,
No, like nobody knew what they were doing. They were like, we don't got your tires. I'm like, dudes, I'm here 4 hours early. Like, I'm not asking you to put them on early. And it was like, I conveyed that message to 3 different people at 3 different times. Like somebody else came out and was like, you know, we don't have those tires, right? And I'm like, I know. I just came out to check because I did an online order. I wanted to make sure that you had them and give you a heads up notice because I can't get Walmart on phone. Like, I don't know. Maybe I could have, but I just figured I'd drive out there and I'd be on my phone because I have to study real estate shit. And I was like actually excited that I was like, I'll have 4 hours of downtime. Man, I got no sleep last night. I got 4 hours of sleep. This nonsense out there escalated to somebody else, the manager coming out and be like, you know, we don't have those tires, right? And I'm like, I see it's processing, but these guys told me that you didn't get the order and that, oh yeah, that's not going to be until next week. You can forget about those tires. And I was like, you don't have, why is this processed here and telling me here that I have a 4 o'clock appointment? Why did it process then? Oh no, that's wrong. And then I'm like, well, what are we going to do here then? Because I'm out here and I drove out here and you guys are like this big company. You're telling me this is wrong. And then the manager comes around. Is like, look, what's going on here?
Ding, ding, do.
And he was like, oh no, that's because it says it's processing. It says it's right there. It's processing. And they made it my fault. And I'm like, that's what I've been trying to tell you. All I did was come out. I don't mind waiting. I just wanted to make sure that and be here in case somebody canceled. You can fit me in. They never once offered that as an option. And then after this whole scenario was like, yeah, well, it's processing. These guys just told me that you were just here trying to get in early. I was like, oh my God, you guys are terrible. I can't believe how terrible this customer service experience.
Which one is it? Which Walmart was it?
It was Robinson. And I wasn't even like the most ghetto. It's like the nicest Walmart in the Pittsburgh area, like the nice one. Couldn't believe the experience. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like the energy was so bad, I couldn't even stay there to read. Like I was out of the zone. I was like, so at that point, I was like, let me go to Costco, even though I have a membership at Costco and it's right there. Let me go and just see if they have this tire because all their other tires were $750. It was like $750, $800 at Costco to have them installed. But it comes with like tire warranty, hazard protection. They fill it with nitrogen and all this, so it doesn't have pressure changes with the weather and all this. And they were really good tires. They were better rated than the ones I got at Walmart. But the ones I got at Walmart, I was happy with. And they did have them there in stock. But, you know, I go over to Costco and I'm just like, I just walk around. I did check with them. They didn't have the tires. It would have taken a day. Which I already knew. So I was like, all right. Because I would have actually paid more. Like, that's how bad that customer service experience was at Walmart. I was like, all right, let me just relax. I ate a hot dog. Then I went in my phone and I was so tired. I ended up falling asleep for like an hour. And then it's like 3 o'clock. And it was like 4. My thing was at 4. And it finally at 3 on my app, it says your tires are ready for install. Like they're here. Like it pops up. So I drive back over to Walmart. And I'm just like, you know, I talked to the one dude and was like, hey man, I was like, listen, you know, I feel like I'm actually kind of concerned right now that like, is my car going to be safe? Like, cause the one dude who was like, came out, he was like the dude that works on the cars. And he was the one that came out like, no, like, all neggied up to the max, you know?
Mhm.
And like, I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable with that dude working on my car because he's the type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm going to hook this thing. Show him. I'm going to strip his lug nut or some shit, you know? And I was like, I really don't feel comfortable. Like, is there a manager here? Well, this guy and the other manager, he was like the manager that came out. And the manager was the one that came out and was like sided with them after I'm like, no, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, I'm totally fine with sitting here. I see that it's in waiting. These guys are the ones telling me that the tire doesn't exist, that you're not going to have it, that the app must be wrong, that your scheduling is wrong. You're not going to get it today. Your guys are the ones. I didn't come in here saying that, and I didn't come in here demanding that I need to be seen. I'm just okay with waiting here until 4. It's noon now. I'm fine with that. But then he was like, well, okay then. And that was a managerial experience. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't take it with these Walmart people. And then like walking around Walmart, I'm just like, it was just a day, man. Like,
Oy, man.
So I didn't get any studying done. And it's just a frustrating thing. Like when you're working and like this course is like a college level course. It's not a joke. Like it's shit that you don't know in everyday vernacular. It's not common sense shit. It's like studying law.
Yeah.
You know, it's dry. It's not fun. I'm 25 hours into this thing, and I feel like I've been studying it for the last year, you know. But oh my God, I can't wait for it to be over, honestly. And I still have 50 freaking hours left. And I'm like, how can I manage 4 hours a freaking day to this? Because I have it, but I can't hone it in. I'm only getting like an hour at best, 30 minutes a freaking day of quality study time. And it's because I can't focus, you know? Like when you're in school and you're college age, you don't realize the luxury. It's like, dude, your parents and all this, you're going to get in debt, but like you have the ability to focus. Can you focus? You can't focus at that age. And you don't realize it's just, you come out of high school and you go right into, I'm free land. And I wasted all that time. So it's like now I'm like, man, to have a full-time job, you know, and try to do a college level course is not freaking easy. And I don't have the focus, and it's frustrating, man. Like, you know, and like I said, and then I just feel like I'm working all the time, and it sucks. It sucks.
Sorry.
So I hate that feeling of feeling like you wake up to work to go to sleep, and it feels like nothing's happening, bro. It's terrible. I mean, I like creating art in some form or another, and I feel that I always big proponent of it for everybody, so that you don't feel that way. Because for some reason, even though if your art's never going to get seen or heard, you get a sense of accomplishment, like you created something that's tangible. That somehow a reflection out of your mind, it becomes tangible and it feels good. It can, but I can't hold on to that for very long either. You know, it's like every 5 years, I'm like, fuck everything. I'm just going to do this. And I make a lot of headway, but then I'm like, sucks being broke all the time. Let me focus this energy over here. And then I'm here and I'm like, yeah, this fucking sucks too. Like, I really can't wait to get over there back in the creative headspace. And it's almost worth being broke over, not having a lot of money. I don't want to say broke. It's a very negative connotation, but it's frustrating when you see a bunch of people that aren't better or smarter than you making 6 figures. And I'm driving them around in my car like today, and they're talking about their BMWs and they're flown in here to work for PNC. And I'm like, you all look like shit. Absolute garbage. You don't take care of your bodies at all. Cool that you have nice stuff and you're you know, but you're getting flown around on jet. They're going, I'm taking them to like the nicest steakhouse in town that's per diemed out, and it's on the bank. And the bank's all like, oh, yeah, no, they fly us in here like, oh, no, because this is the headquarters. They fly us in here for a little powwow every 4 months to spend money, you know, that like, where's it come from? Because you think you're like, it's such bullshit, bro. Like, I just like, oh, man, today is just like one of those days where I'm just like seeing everything and all the cogs, but you know, I just don't know, man. Like, I'm dedicated to finishing this course just because I started it. And even that freaking truck driving shit, I worked months on that. Months. Took me several months to pass the written shit. Then several more months to pass the driving shit. And then it's like $2 more grand. Don't have it. So that's on hold. And I could go work for somebody else and they'll pay me like $700. But I was talking to, my wife about it yesterday. And she's like, I wish, it'd be nice if you didn't have to, about the tire situation. She's like, geez, that's really a lot. And I just wish that you didn't have to use your car. But it's okay for now. And I'm like, it is okay for now. Because like with trucking, if I'm driving somebody, I'm wiring down somebody else's tires. And even if I made the same amount of money, I don't have the wear and tear. It's like these tires don't last that long, man. Like I had this car for like 10 months and it's $600. And then it's constant gas. And I haven't had to do oil changes. But those are $100 a pop now. So I'm like, that Uber and Lyft is like total smoke and mirrors. You think you're making money, but when you really look at what's coming in and what's going out, it's not that much. And then, like I say, then I look at these dimwits that just like have the tolerance to be part of the machine, the big corporate machines. Yeah, like
it's well said.
Just be there. Just freaking be there. Because when you work for big corporate America, it's about not standing out. It's about keeping your head down and not being noticed. Just getting done what you need to do minimally and sticking it out for the long haul until you have seniority. That's how it works. That's not me. And I know that's not you. You know what I mean? That's why we always like it's hard because it's like none of these fools could be on the stage and rock a stage the way that we could. Not in their wildest dreams. And I think to myself, but these are the people that buy tickets to come watch us do what we do. And isn't that weird? Isn't that like these people that show up for work 9 to 5 and tell me what to do, and they're button pushers. And they, and it's like, oh, I put my 3 kids through college and I can't decide if I want the Porsche or the freaking, but I decided on the BMW 5 Series. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, you have that much, they pay you that much money. It's like, to do what? Like, you're in like HR. Like, oh, we make sure that I'm in HR. I'm in human resources, and I just make sure that everybody knows what their health plan is, what health plans are available to them in our multi-thousand plus company. And if they have complaints because Judy said this to Bob or whatever, then I talk it out. And I talk to these people and they're like, yeah, I love my job because it's almost like dealing with children, but they're adults. And I'm like, you're getting paid close to damn 6 figures to babysit adults in a big company and make sure they're paid and to make sure that they signed up for their health benefits, which is another like
racket.
Yeah. Like, Oh man, it's just painful. And then
I'm sorry you're going through your dark night of the soul right now, brother.
It just, it's just when you see all this shit, you know what I mean? And and you just want to be able to do, like, I don't know, man. Like I just want to be able to, yeah, like everybody just wants to be able to enjoy their life on some level, But we find it, but it's just, oh man, the way that this machine is set up to keep us fucking grinding. Jeez, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I swear to God, I'm like, how am I still in debt? Like, after all these years, it's not out of lack of effort, but it's like, I will admit, I never really could fully commit to the corporate lifestyle. It's never for me. It's not my personality. And I tried to do the startups where I could lead in leadership, but Jesus, that's like requires all those same stuffed shirts to give you money, like, because it's a lot, So yeah, I'm exhausted with it, but I feel like my plan right now is I'm gonna finish this real estate course just because. Oh my God, that's the other thing. Like Nizam sent me, like he knows this Russian chick who's lives in Florida. Listen, a $2.5 million home. Oh, no, sorry, $7.5 million home.
For what?
Water. And she's a realtor, and she's getting an interview. And they did a 30-minute video segment, very well produced. I will give them that. The one girl is a former realtor who, like, now she started she does like multimedia for other realtors. She saw the need to do the, to have like the drone shots and then take you through the house. And it's literally like, like any talking head when they walk you through and they know all the right words, how to talk about MTV Cribs, but it's for real estate. Now we're in the big room and look at the way the marble, this, and and everything's recessed and it's like literally like that. But I know that they're doing this because they're going to make 6% commission on that sale that gets split between the buyer and the seller agent, because that's what it is. Because if anytime you sell a home, you got to go through realty, and they make 6%. And when it's that much money, like, that can make you a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of one sale. But it's like these girls that just love, like that, they're Barbies. You know what I mean? And it's literally like playing dress up and house for them. It's their freaking, probably, they're kind of groomed to that. And that's what it looks like to me. And it's so regurgitatingly obnoxious. And that's why I never liked real estate, is because, like, when I was 20, straight out of high school, or college, I mean, like, I was ambitious, wanted to put on the suit and look my best and all this. Like, now it's just like, it's just such a charade. And it's almost disgusting, because all these jobs, all these realtor jobs, they're right now, because the way that their shelf life is limited. AI could replace them all tomorrow, because and it already is. Like, go to realty.com. You can see all the houses. You can see the listing price. You can see everything you need to. Get good at posting videos. Do the walkthrough there. And then at this point, it could be like, what do you need a realtor for? To go open the door for you and walk through the place with you? And then, so that you don't steal something or vandalize? Like, why? What purpose is your 3%? Like, that's on every million, that's $300,000. So that's 30,000, 3,000. Yeah. Anyway, $30,000. 30,000. So yeah, they're going to make close to $100,000 each for, being cute and like making a video that looks like, I just don't know, man. It reminds me of like the reason people watch soap operas. You know, it's like, oh, I could have this stuff. It's like
it's selling the dream. You're selling the dream.
Selling the dream, and they're just walking through it, and they're just dressed to the nines, and they're like little models, and all the guys in it too. Like the best-selling realtor in Pittsburgh is gay, super well groomed, and super, you know. But he goes through and he does his flares, and it's all about video production now. Which fine, I could do that, but the whole thing is just odd. It's like, it's such a bullshit show. It's so unnecessary with technology today. Like literally, if I know I want the house, I could go to I know the neighborhood, do your own, like you pay for an inspector. That's the valuable part. Those are the people that really know what to look for. The foundation has a crack in it. There's a leak here. The pipes aren't draining well in this. And like, there's the chimney is out of whack or something, you know, like they're the ones that you pay and they have the valuable information, not these clowns. It's like literally it's a pony show, whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's dog and pony show. It's a sales. That's sales. That's the it's the spokesmodel. It's
yes, 100%. It's spokesmodel to the nth degree, to the 10th degree. Like you can't
believe it because it's
real.
It's an act. It's not real.
And it's the same thing like anchors, the way they all have the same voice, right. Except it's like real estate and these realtors that are good at the ones that make the money and get the listings. It's like formulaic to a degree, except they're allowed to have more personality than the anchors. But it's the same type of person that is drawn to that career. And it's garbage. It's like as useless as the weatherman, like who gets the news feed over and is wrong all the time. Like, dude, you don't serve a purpose anymore. Like I have an app. I don't need like these watching all this is like watching. I'm just like I'm reading this stuff and I'm like I'm learning a lot from the legal perspective, but as far as doing this as a job, I'm just like, I know who I could probably deal with, but it's not any of these, the people that's attracted to these people as a spokesperson and want to buy off them. I couldn't deal with them. I could not deal with them. I'd rather sell 100,000, 30,000, $100,000, $100,000 homes than $1 million home. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather do that and deal with like regular people that are trying to get shit. And I mean, granted, that's a lot of Pittsburgh, but oh my God. And honestly, I'd rather just build the houses. Like I want to get the land, work with the contractors, but that takes money. That takes upfront money, man. And then the people who grant you the mortgages, they're not calling us back. Like they're so busy. And they make 1.5% off every sale. And like, if you think as many realtors and many houses are going, everyone is buying a house is applying for a mortgage. So that's even a better position to be in because you're not just one realtor seeing one person at a time and wasting your time driving them around all these houses.
Good point.
You can literally do it over the phone, over the internet, and every realtor group, every mortgage, every realtor company, and every realtor in that company has somebody that needs a mortgage. So they're getting flooded. They don't make 3%, they make 1 to 1.5%. It's freaking awesome. And you can do it remotely. So
is that what you're studying or that's what you're thinking?
Nizam's on that one. And he just passed his course. And it's only like a 25-hour course. So I would have been through that one already. But and it pays good. It pays like $50,000, $60,000 to start. You know? And you get to learn, you get the hands-on experience. And then you're making commissions is when you get in. That's how you get into the 6-figure area is through your 1.5 commissions on doing a bunch of mortgages. But the thing I love about that system is that everybody needs a mortgage, whether you're buying the $1 million house or the $100,000 house. Nobody has $100,000 cash.
Right. It's the law.
20% down, and it's a law. Yeah. It's
like insurance, you know?
Dude, yes. It's where the real money is. So I'm like, I don't even, so like now it makes it even more painful for me to go through this real estate course because I'm like, I have 50 fucking hours and I'd rather be building the house. I would rather be taking a course on being a contractor, a home building contractor on new construction, building this, you know what I mean? Like not.
Yeah, that's a lot of years though of being, a carpenter, like being in the process.
I don't want to do it, but I want to oversee.
I know what you mean.
I want to get the money and hire everybody and make sure that they show up and that they're hitting all their checkpoints. And I can look, and see if they're doing a good job on the plumbing and on the flooring and all this stuff. You know what I mean? You see it come together. You see it from the show. You know what it's supposed to look like at the end and what it needs to look like at the beginning. You know what I mean? So that's way more fascinating to me. And dealing with those type of people, I can deal with those type of people for the most part. Again, there's some blue collar people that I had an experience today with that are just like, you fucking assholes. They were out there. Oh, I drove over there for Walmart at 3 p.m. My thing was at 4. There was 3 car bays, nobody in them. They're all out there smoking. There's like 6 people, and they're like taking turns and walking around. I'm sitting there, and I'm watching it I'm sitting there for an hour because I'm like, my appointment's at 4, and I'm not going to go in there early again. So I'm just going to watch. I watched for 3 o'clock to 3:45 when I walked in. There was not one car that pulled up. They could have taken me earlier, and it was probably like that all day. And if the reason they were trying to talk me out of that's not even working. These guys are running a scam over Walmart. It's an all-day smoke break for them, and they hang out and don't do shit. And they're sending everybody away. And fuck it, it's Walmart. It's that attitude. It's the bottom barrel asshole workers that are like, not my company. That's Walmart. Yeah, they got all the money. Watch how I screw them over. It's that shit. And I watched that all day. But it spilled to me because I'm like, you fucking assholes told me you couldn't get me in earlier. Now my tires, you waited. You didn't even put it on until 3. The tires were there the whole fucking time. But they waited till the app, and then I get there and I'm watching them. And I have it, and even my dash cam was recording them. I'm like, I want to burn all of you right now. I really would. I was like, should I go show this to a manager because all of you would lose your jobs? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're assholes. And you were assholes to me, telling me that my shit wouldn't work so that I could buy stuff internally or so that you didn't have to do any work. And I watched it for an hour. And I walked in. And then I went up to the counter guy and I was like, hey, man, sorry about earlier. I was like, and he was like, oh, it's cool. And he was a cool dude. And we, chopped it up. And I was like, I got to tell you, man, like, here's the thing though. Like, is there a manager? Like, oh, just that dude you talk. And then there's this other guy too. And I'm like, well, I might need to talk to him because I don't feel comfortable right now with what I see is going on. And like, I'm worried about my car. I got a brand new car, the torque 78 in the owner's manual. Are they going to know that stuff? Like, is it like, this is amateur hour? Like, it's some bullshit I see going on. Oh no, don't worry about it. These guys are good guys, man. I know whatever happened in here, man, they're not going to take it out there. They take care of the customer's car. They would never do that to you. All right, man. Well, I'm hoping that you're right. I had an uneasy feeling the whole time. And then that guy comes in. I was like, hey, man. And I was like, I waited and I wanted to see his receipt. And he was, he was just like janidloing it about. And then, and then I was like, and he never came over and apologized or anything like that. And just like, hey, did you sign in yet? And I was like, nope, because he told me not to scan the thing. And I was like, why did you tell me not to scan that barcode? Like, I really want to scan this barcode. Like, there was some fishy shit going on. I was like, hey man, I was like, are we cool from earlier? Like, what's up? And he's like, oh yeah, we're good. I was like, all right, man. I put out my hand, shake, and he shook my hand. I was like, all right, cool. Just he's like, yeah, you're gonna be my last customer for the day, because this is gonna take about an hour, and just so you know, it's gonna take about. I said, dude, I'm good with staying as long. I don't care how long it takes, man. As long as it gets done right. You want to get done right? As long as it gets done right. You gonna get done right? Yeah, get done right. All right, man. All right. That was it. We had a little man-to-man, and I let them do their things. I didn't burn them, but they were so on the fence of me going to their supervisor and being like, dude, this is what happened today. And I got video on my car taking an hour smoke break when they could have had me in earlier, pushing me off. Like, they almost lost $500+ of business for your company. And I'll probably never come here again. So tighten up your shit. But it's people like that are going to bring, you wonder like how Walmarts and other super centers go down. It's a lot of that shit, just like small-minded mentality of workers. It's just a gamut, of just like bullshit capitalism. And I'm just like,
they have no attached. See, the thing is, things have gotten so big that the people working are completely disassociated with what they're doing. You know what I mean? They're treated so non-existent to the end result and the money that's at the top, and they see how hard they're working versus how little they're working, and the money ratio is out of, and it's too big. There's no association to the business whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's like rental. Like, people are renting places and they'll treat it like shit because landlord will take care of it. I don't own it. You know what I mean? And that's what happens to neighborhoods.
Pouring grease down the drain and
ain't my drain.
Grease, everything goes down the drain. Like, dude, like, yeah, like. Just
anyway, there's no association to the house. There's no association to the sidewalk in front of the house or the street in front of the house. It's all just garbage, And that's when we moved to Lawrenceville. That's what I was experiencing there, that there is just complete zero respect to anything that was there at the moment. Just none. They were just broken individuals. They were disassociated by society. They were treated horribly generation after generation. It's completely disassociated.
In a playground.
They were grown children in a playground.
Grown children in a playground.
I'll be right back. I use the restroom.
All right, I'll grab a drink. Oh, man. Wait till he gets back. But, yeah, I always say, like, if you can't, kids, until they, like, it's important to have kids to have the chores, because it's not about the money as much as it teaches them. It's hard to make money, but even chores are like, they don't really get it. It almost they need to go work for somebody else. I'll be back. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Uncle Bing Bong.
Yo.
Told you about gross. What?
Hold on a second, Dave.
No problem. You know what? I'm going to refill my water as well. Hold on a second.
Cool. right.
Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Yeah, bro. So as we were saying, yeah, to me, it's just like I always say, you know, kids are the ones that perpetrate the most vandalism in society because they're listless, they don't have purpose, they don't feel like they have purpose,
And they don't own anything.
And they don't understand the value of anything. That's right, because they never really purchase anything. They don't understand what it costs to repair and to go through that struggle, how hard it is to actually earn an honest dollar. They just don't get it. And somehow that's like when you have kids, you got to have them do chores and do stuff, and so that they can kind of start getting that.
They feel invested in it.
Yeah, but you know, if you're like, if you're not paying them the actual going rate of their labor, like mow the lawn, what would you pay somebody else to mow the lawn and pay them that? And
Right.
then say, look, yeah, no, you can't have more than $10 for this lawn because it only needs mowed. No, you can't mow our lawn 3 times a week to make 30. But there's other people around that you can go and ask them $10. But if you only give them $1 to mow your lawn, then they're just like, they still don't understand the value. And that's the way I always was with chores. I'm like, what the fuck? You give me 50 cents. Like I can go buy penny candy with this, but what did I really do? Like I never understood. Like I washed the dishes. I did something I was supposed to do, like put my clothes away. I just didn't ever get it. And but I understand it as an adult. It's like, this is the grooming process to try to get kids to understand how to extract how to provide value and receive value in the form of currency that they can exchange for something that they feel is valuable. In a non-direct one-to-one exchange, you know, the money's just a currency of value until you go to that other courier that has a thing that you want in that particular moment.
Exchange of energy, currency.
Yeah, it's current currency. That's right, bro. Energy, current.
Energy.
Oh shit, current. The currency.
I didn't make that up. It was just helped me understand money.
Yeah, totally. That's what it is.
And you know, it's not evil. It's just an exchange of energy.
Yeah, and it's like you can only provide me duck. I mowed your 10 acres of lawn, but you are a duck farmer, and I don't need any more ducks right now. So Give me the representation that shows I did that energy for you, and then now I can exchange it to the energy, and then that guy who needs ducks will come, and you'll get it back eventually, but it needs to keep circulating. That's why billionaires, that's why they're not good for circulation. They take things out of circulation. That's why unfettered capitalism is not good. But anyway, bro, I feel like I like participating in things that are creative, and I love collaborating with people. That's why I always love movie work and this type of work where you're like working together with a team of people to get things done. But when it's in the arts, it's always frustrating because it doesn't happen that often. There's not a freaking concert like that every day.
Mm-mm.
To where you can make it your lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that's what, like, after COVID, I was like, oh, let me get back into audio. It's like, unless I luckily skill up to become a touring engineer, then I'm on tour all the time. And that'll be until, you know.
Yeah. It's yeah, man. I know.
It's such a feast or famine industry, you know. It's like
we're at the famine right now, you know, because the industry collapsed at the moment.
And it sucks when you're relying
and they keep
on
you
other people to make money.
Other people, and it's you're waiting. They dangle the golden carrot every time. Every time I go to get out of it, it pops back in, and then they say, oh, it's going to lead right into this next thing, and they keep dangling the golden carrot, and then you're waiting 3 months again. It's like, or this time around, I couldn't collect any unemployment because of during this whole time. So because they didn't. It wasn't running up enough, the strike and then the renegotiation. Nobody works enough. So close, dude, like weeks away. And
because I know, and you would have had it if they wouldn't have diluted your work to give everybody else a chance too.
No, he was trying to get everybody at least one day of the week so that everybody could get enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because you only have to wait one day. Yeah, but I didn't make it anyway.
If all those days were yours,
I could have put some money aside. That would be gone now anyway. But nobody fucking didn't go long.
Well,
anyway, the entertainment industry is another racket.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the talent gets millions and millions. And it's just like sports. You guys are talking about the one dude's getting $87 million a year to play baseball or something ridiculous like that, or basketball. It's like, what? How are they making that much money to give that to one person? It's and then anyway, I'm not going to get into
because the ball games used to be
and now everything. And now prices keep going up. It's a built-in inflation. It's complete bullshit.
Yeah,
they say, oh, it's just inflation. Well, what's it based off of? Is it based off of the fuel? Well, it's because of the fuel industry. No, not anymore. Not anymore. No, it's not, because you're jacking up the fuel industry at the same time. But no, it's not.
No,
it's just no, it's not. No, it's not. It's the greed industry. It's the inflation of greed, and you can't. Alan Watts says, what is it? In capitalism, having the board members always, a business increase every year. Like they're just looking for that. Well, we're last year we had an increase of 6%. This year we're only having an increase of 3%, and that's just not right. How are you guys going to get this money up? And so they're trying to figure ways that every year they're making more money. And the only way to do that is by depleting what you got. And they said, and what did he say? It's a recipe for no trees. He said, having a winning business year every year, you can't. It's not feasible. You just can't do it. He said, it's a recipe for no trees.
Fuck.
And that's what you see, because it got to come from somewhere. And you can't keep having a winning year. You can't. You got to level out. You got to hit the apex and level out and be good with making $500 billion for your company every year, because that's what your company is good for. And to be happy with it, not 500 billion in one or 550 billion next year. The greed that capitalism is infused with is completely destroying society. It makes everybody treat their streets like they don't own them, because they don't, and all the property like they don't own them, because they don't. Because the realization is you don't even own your car, because what happens if you don't make your payment?
It's gone.
And by who?
Bank.
So who owns your car? And if you don't pay your mortgage, right? Do you own your house? You don't own your house. The bank owns your house.
Everything
until you pay it off.
The bank at the top. But you're right. There's the problem. It's not that there needs to be
nobody owns shit. Nobody owns shit anymore.
The solution isn't less hierarchy, because you need to have structure. However,
that's true.
There needs to be structure, but there needs to be temperament as well. And there needs to be a second value metric in what is successful for businesses.
Right.
Not just money. It needs to be we made money this year and we're leveled out, and that's sustainable. That's fucking awesome. What are we contributing to everybody that we're taking from? Because, as you said, that baseball player that makes more and more million, and all the base and everybody, the baseball fans, well, you know, oh, it's sad the Pirates can't have a winning team because they just can't raise as much money as those other cities. It's like, no, you know, it shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about that. That the agents don't have another metric for their players except money, because that's what they're told. Instead of creating a freaking, you can
look right now
royalty. You got the money. The money's solved for. Create royalty now. You know how you create royalty? Stay with it and build this team up and become a fucking king in your city. Become a hero. Like, and we know who those names are. Everybody knows who those names are, you know? Lemieux, you know, Roethlisberger. It's like these guys that are like franchise players and like, I'm here, I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh. And they build a royalty equity up. It's not just money equity, it's royalty equity. And for businesses, it can't be one metric. Just did we make more money this year than last year? It needs to have the second metric, which is social, hence societal, hence socialism. But that's such a bad word. But that's the other.
It's about being upholding to your society.
It's you're extracting more and more from. So
you're putting it back into your society.
The quality of life of the working class is depleted and depleted and depleted because you want to pay that guy more because you don't want to take less as the owner. So it's such a fucking monopoly game of money, and people are getting fleeced. The working class is just getting fleeced because the owning class is literally, I hear people go, oh, well, no, that guy deserves it. It's like, how do you deserve $87 million? And how are you how much do you make that you're justifying that? But the other teams are paying $75 million for their best player, and he's better than them. Bro, like, who's paying that? Your ticket prices. That's why you can't afford to go to games more than once a year, because the ticket prices are, the ticket prices of the Pirates are, $30 to $75. They should be $3 to $7. And at one time they were $3 to $7. And guess what? Your quality of life was better because you got to take your kids there and you had something to do every freaking day. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. This isn't the way it's supposed to be.
And then the thing is,
it's supposed to be a place for you to take your kids for entertainment. And it's supposed to be affordable. It's not supposed to be some luxury that you can do once a freaking year. And then the rest of the time, you're toiling and toiling and toiling, and you wake up and you go to sleep, and it's a day after day, and you're saving up for that one time. And then that guy's a hero to you because, I got to see him one fucking time.
Yep.
It's fucking
it's slavery. It's slavery. It's really, it just keeps it's slavery. It really is. It's work slave. And the thing is too, is that when you get there, then the venue is jabbing you, is gouging you. $8 for a soda pop that costs 40 cents. And they're gouging you and gouging you. There was somebody talking about, the music industry, realizing he thinks he's on top of the world. Then he starts realizing that it's the music industry is just pushing these shows for the venues. The venues are using shows to sell parking, to sell hot dogs, to sell drinks, to sell all of that, to sell Ticketmaster. It has nothing. And he's like, what I'm doing is almost pointless. It's just to draw people to their venue. It's all the music now that's being made is for the venue, these big houses, and it's not the music anymore.
No, and the artists. The artists they got screwed out.
That's why music is terrible right now. It's so bad. The popular pop music is so terrible.
Just the whole industry, because you can't make it from your record sales anymore because there's no tangible item to sell, and you can't make it from the venue because the venue's hogging all of it.
Mm.
And I've been on both sides of it. And as a small venue, man, like without alcohol sales, you can't fucking pay anybody like a decent, what would be even considered any type of
for their skill set,
hourly wage for what they're putting in. Like, and it hurts, man. But you know, it's just that feast or famine that, you know, it's just these juggernauts are in control of it, and they're just really good at running the board, bro. They're just really good at running the board.
Well, you know, I don't want to have a bitch session all night.
I think I'm done, but thanks for being here and listening.
You know, well, I'll talk to you about it anytime, man. Like I feel you, brother. Man, I feel you, and you know, I'm going through it now too, in my own way. But like, you know, seeing the inside and out of it, and realizing, you know, it's like you know, these looking for jobs and looking like what they're paying, and it's like, man, would we rather have very little or have slightly more and I'm not present? And that's like the options right now. You know, it's like, do I go do this for 40 hours? I'm away for 40 hours, 50 hours with transit, you know what I mean, for X amount of dollars. And it's not a lot. People aren't even paying a lot right now for it, unless you're union, you know, but those union jobs are jacked at the moment, you know? So it's like, you know, how do I switch gears? And I'm looking, you know, I'm looking for someone's going to pop up, and but I'm looking at driving jobs also, the company driving jobs, van driving, night driving or something, you know, just their vehicle, you know, between $15 and $20 an hour is what's being paid. And it's like, well, it's better than nothing, you know, because right now we're making too much. One of us are making too much regularly to get assistance, where before we were just under. So in these downtimes, if I couldn't get unemployment in between, we'd at least get some kind of assistance for food. And right now we ain't even got that, because we're just out of that market. And it's like, so I have to go do something for 40 hours. I got to be away for 40 hours just for food.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
like,
know, man. The system is fucking rigged,
it's jacked right now. It's really jacked.
Oh, it's so fucking painful, bro.
But you know, but I still doing the art. Still doing it. You know, it's my solace. It's my happiness. I still focus on that, and all these nice little things, accolades are coming back, and it's the long game. It'll pay off in the long game, you know. And these moments are these moments, and it's the moments that are always discussed about, you know. And it's what is the value of life, you know? What is the value of life? And that's where it's like, how do I go away for how is somebody going to pay me $15 an hour to be away from my child? Yeah. You know, to be away from my creative, you know, bliss, to be away from my wife, you know, and watch my children grow for $15.
Yeah, it's a
for a whole hour.
Scam. It's such bullshit. And then there's other people that are going, 15 hours, great. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
Like, that's too, dude. It's like, you know,
like
that's
me.
milk.
Like,
that's milk. That's milk and bread. You know, for if that.
Shit. Like, I could go out one time. Like, the cost of not even the sustenance shit goes fast. But I'm like, you know, the thing is, I'm using my own car, depreciating the fuck out of it, paying it, and you know what? Uber and Lyft constantly tells me my value, my worth is $20 an hour.
Oh,
constantly. Yes, that's it. So if you're making 15 and you're not driving your car, you're
actually doing better.
Off. I mean, in some sense, because
in some sense,
is, I can decide when I start, when I stop. But the time quotient that you got to put in to extract that energy, to extract that currency, is the same, except it's worse. It seems better when it's 20, but then 5 of that goes right back out in maintenance costs and fuel. So if you're driving somebody else's, deduct that out. At least you don't have the wear and tear, and it still sucks. But it's like it's all illusions all across the board. Because I'm like, no, this isn't good money, and and then you have the people that you're working for going, oh, we don't have a lot of money either. But then you see what the executive's making, and then they're building a new building. They're building a new wing of the university. They're building, oh yeah, Gecko, they can't pay their workers even what Sheets pays. Get the fuck out of here. You're in Pittsburgh. You could pay $18 an hour.
For living wage.
You're choosing to pay 14 and 15 and then wonder why people don't show up for work. But you're always buying another day.
That's exactly what we're talking about. There's a disassociation. So the work gets worse and worse. The people people aren't getting paid their value. They're raising costs. The cost of living. Nobody.
No, you got it 100%. Because if they paid more to the workers would have more. They'd feel more part of it. They'd feel more part of the creative process instead of just taken advantage of.
Right.
And everything would be much more harmonious. We are in a state of disharmony right now.
Oh,
Our
absolutely.
country is in a big state of disharmony.
Absolutely.
Now, you watched the presidential debate last night?
Absolutely. I was up really late. I couldn't sleep afterwards. I watched.
I know. I couldn't either, man. I got 4 hours of sleep last night because not because of that, everything. Because everything. But
I was very thrilled. I was very happy with the way with Kamala Harris.
Because I was so many times, if I was her, I was like, do you guys not see this? He's a buffoon.
It's astounding. It's astounding.
I was like, say the word buffoon. Please call him a buffoon. He's a buffoon.
I mean, what was amazing?
He's such a sensationalist fucking.
Oh, and the rhetoric, the same words over billions and billions. Some people say this, some people say, it's the same thing. And then what gets me is watching the after. You know what I mean? Like the people talk about who won the debate. And there are some people that are so brainwashed that they can't, I have no idea what their reality is, that they look at that as something of merit, that human being as a leader. Like, what is going on? How are you so broken inside that you see that as a positive human being, as a plus, any kind of boon to follow, that he has any connection to anything outside of himself? It's fascinating. Like, how broken are you, or how in debt, like leech, like parasitic are you to this broken society that you have to, like, I don't know what the hell Elon Musk went wrong with that dude, that he's attaching his billions and billions to that to keep his tax. I don't want to pay taxes, so I have to go with this buffoon that's trying to murder the world. You know, like it's so broken. But to see that and look at it, that person as a leader, is astounding to me. Like, how mentally broken you must be to look at that as a healthy human being.
So the thing is that the ego speaks through us, and it is our dual. It's everybody's dual nature. Is the other one of you is the ego, and that's the one that says you're better than everybody. Kill whatever you want to kill, including anything. Take what you want, because that's your ego voice.
Recipe for no trees.
And that's Trump is like king of the ego, right? So like everybody that feels powerless and wants more for themselves and fuck everybody else and fuck the world, he's saying everything right. That's why. Mm-hmm. And when you are people like us that can see that we're all connected, that the earth, it's one world, we're all earthlings. This is an irrefutable fact. And rather than pointing the finger that COVID went around the world in a month, say that's proof that we're all connected now.
Right.
It's not the color of skin. Doesn't matter where you live. We're one people. When are we going to start acting like it? And instead of
building walls, them over there, them, it's them. No, it's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. That's indecisive.
And you're
everybody else's fault. Everything.
Oh,
that duality. Yeah, is that fear. Just parasitic. That fear.
Just more for me, less for you. And hey, I'm just doing what hey, don't blame me.
You watched it play out today. Or with while you're watching them, they don't care about the business. They don't care about you. They don't care about your tires. They just know that you're scheduled for 4:00. There's no one scheduled at 3:00. He's over there waiting. There's no one scheduled at 3:00.
That's just making more work for me, because then that's going to free up the 4:00 spot, and then I'll have to do 2 cars. Fuck that. I'm getting paid the same. I'm hourly. And then you have the commission shit. Like, it's a whole nother thing, which doesn't help. But yeah, the system is so broken right now, all over the place. I don't know how she's going to fix it, but I hope she gets it. I pray to God, for the sake of the world, honestly, that she comes out victorious on this. And I don't know how to fix it. I got so frustrated in our last election with everything you said. Like, I can't even take watching this anymore. But so this time, I'm just trying to handle my business. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure out, what do I need to do to put food on my table right now? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to ride out this storm, however it's going to be played. You know what I mean? But somehow I know that last time, like, I really leaned into the idea of the collective consciousness and like trying to do my part. I was putting money in, I'm putting like, and countless hours of time I put into last year, like last election, trying to talk to people. And I'll tell you one thing I learned in sales, commission sales, don't waste your breath on the people that are definitely no. The best thing you could do is suss out, are you a definite no? Like with the security systems, for example, it was like, I have a solution here for you if you feel a need for it. Or so is this something you were thinking about doing now or in the future? If yes, continue the conversation here. Mm-hmm. If no, ask one more question. And that question is, are you saying no right now, but it's something you consider later, because then we can continue the conversation? Or are you saying no because you don't believe that this provides any value? You don't believe in this product. And if they go, I don't believe in it, I got my guns. Okay.
Next.
At that point, move on. Don't waste time to convince them, because it's not going to happen. Right. It's the same thing in these elections. I drove these 2 young kids around.
Already decided.
8 kids, 2 girls. They're out. And they were in one neighborhood, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't see anything." And I'm like, first of all, you're in where there's no foot traffic. And I took them down to the strip district where they were going. And I was like, "There's foot traffic here." And that whole ride, I coached them on sales. I was like, "Listen, this is." I said exactly what I just said to them, to you. It's like, don't try to convince a Trumper that's already convinced that's their guy, because all it's going to do is turn in an argument and friction. And they're wasting your time. So get on to the next person, because the only person is, believe it or not, there are some people out there. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they look like, but there are people out there like still going, I'm not sure which one. I'd say 85% to 90%. I'd say we got a
pre-decided.
90% of all society in America is split 45 and 45. And that there's 10% that's undecided. And that's why they're going to Johnstown. That's why they both went to Johnstown. Both of them. Kamala was apparently there today. And his mom sent me a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I swear. I said, who knew Johnstown was a hotbed for, political discourse? I certainly didn't. But for some reason, it represents the disimpoverished and steel bow, and they got to win. Pennsylvania's the battleground.
Pennsylvania's, yeah.
So they're just going everywhere, that they can. And if one person goes somewhere, the rhetoric of the newspaper is, well, this candidate showed up and they care about us, and the other one didn't.
Right.
So they don't care about us, and that sells newspapers, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter. Swap the name. It doesn't matter. But if one goes, now the other one better go there. So this is political strategy, wag the dog type shit going on, and I don't have time for it. It will be played out, and it doesn't require our money. It doesn't require save your money.
Well, that was the one thing that we were talking about. What the hell were we saying? Investing in anyway. It always amazes me. The rigged. Starting your own business, X amount of money that goes into it, but that with elections too, that how many millions and millions it takes to. Not everybody can become the president. That's bullshit. Even the most intelligent person can't, because there's so much money. You have to have money in order to have a leadership role. And that you're buying into it. And they're on the campaign trail and they're still asking for handouts. They're still asking for handouts for money from the people. And it's like, how many million, what is the cost?
I swear.
To get the word out. Like in this day and age, it's crazy how much money it takes to be the president. And so that right there is eliminating the mental. I don't get off this phone call. I'm starting to feel frustrated again. It's
a weird thing. And then
that money rules who the leader is.
You could take that and apply that to who's the next, superstar too. Like it's a superstar role, but they have, they're saying, well, we need all you little common plebeian people's money so that we don't have to take the big POC money.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that when it was Bernie wasn't taking any of that POC money. That the big corporation pool super PACs like of big corporations, and it's fucked up. We don't need that today. We don't need that. There's social media and it should be free, but it's not going to be. Maybe it will be in our lifetime. I don't know, depending on how long we live, but the times are fucking changing. Technology is changing fast. And a lot of the shit I'm looking around, I'm like, these jobs are antiquated and all you're posers. Like, but at the same time, if it gets replaced by I'm looking online, I could do a full video walk tour. I could put on VR glasses and walk through the freaking house. Is it eliminating jobs? Yeah, it is. So where's that money go? To a corporation. Fuck, we lose again. So I don't know what the solution is. But, Elon will talk about and other people will talk about is like, we're quickly moving to a point where, yes, all these menial jobs are bullshit, but there was that meme. Hey, Mr. AI creator, I don't need you to do creative shit for me. I need you to do stuff that I don't want to do so that I can be creative. So that I can do the creative stuff. Because right now, AI is trying to serve all the I could do the creative. Look how good I could do the creative. That's what gives us joy in life.
Yeah.
We don't need computers to do that shit for us. Like it can augment and I'll use it to, and it's like a symphony. We'll work together in some sense, but don't replace it. Like they're focusing on the wrong shit. Focus on how to do my dishes and how to get me out of my job and how to all that shit.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week's Big Room, everybody.
Yeah. This is trying to. I tell you what, man. They'll keep you monetarily. The system is designed to keep you in debt, and that is slave labor, and that's just what it is, and it's always been that way, as far as currency goes. So how do you, out there and in the big room, free yourself from that slave labor, from that mindset. And you need to balance this. This conversation that we just had of talking about what's behind the veil and what's the real motives, and who Oz really is. You have to counterbalance that in your little bubble, in your world. Take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and not just monetarily, but like be present, be creative. Driving Fen, our youngest, to school, Fenino asks, I don't know, how do you ever wonder if you're a background person, or if you're, really, or if you're an NPC, or you're, a player? And I said, man, it's like, Fen, there's times I feel like I'm both. I was like, which one are you? Are you, and I said, there's times I think I'm both. I'm one or the other. And for somebody else, I'm definitely a background person. For somebody else, or, even when I'm on stage, I'm somebody's background, that is inciting them in their first player game. I was like, but in order to pull me out of that NPC role, non-player character role, when I start feeling like I'm just going through the motions, is to do something creative every day. If it's a drawing, if it's a lyrics, is it cooking, to do one thing to pull into this matrix that could never be done by anybody else. It's like, that's what keeps me as a hero in the game and not an NPC, because I create, I'm a programmer essentially to this. The way I stay effective in this game of life is to create something that has never existed before and can only exist through my programming. That's and even if nobody ends up seeing it, I know that I'm a hero role and I'm not a background character, because I pulled something out that a program, I'm the creator, I'm the engineer, I'm the architect for that moment. One thing every day. And I know I'm not an NPC.
What's the validation? We could have been this for you the whole time.
Yeah, it could have been. That'd have been a little too much for me. But what's the validation?
Because if the validation is just money, we hear it time and time again, even from the people that achieve superstardom or the $87 million a year job. It's like, at some point they start feeling like an NPC. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Because somebody's paying them that $87 million, and we don't know who that guy's name is, but it's the stadium owner, the league owner, and they're making. We don't even know, because there's people's on.
And then there's the pressure to perform at somebody else's paid level.
Yeah.
Well, they're paying me this, so now I have to be better than yesterday, or just as good as my best moment. Or I'm at zero. I have nothing. Yeah. And now your self-worth is tied to your paycheck. Even if it's from a creative point of view, you're only as good as your last album, your last song, your last single, now your last post,
That statement, though, comes from a point of truth in as far as popular attention. I think the point of it is it's a point in time, and that point always keeps moving. And like, if you ever achieve that point where you're at the top, it's always fleeting. Everybody thinks I finally made it, and then they think it's going to last forever.
No,
and then,
it's a cipher.
It doesn't. And then it's like, fuck, I'm back down to playing the local venues again. But I was on tour and I did this, and they get so depressed.
Right. Because they can't see that this is life. You know what I mean? And when you have this creative high of connecting, it's going to go back down. But when you're at this point, you can't see this end result yet. You have to go into this hero's journey back into the cave, where your greatest journey, your greatest treasure lies in the cave that you want, that you fear the most. But because you can't see this here, when you're here, you can't see here. But it's an end result for you to get back here. You have to. If you were here all the time, life would be as dull as being here. You know, you have to have that. We learn through contrast, and the way to appreciate something is to not have it for a moment, to experience both. You know, that's how we appreciate things. We're learning through contrast. It's better to love and lost than not to have loved at all. But it's better to keep moving through that cycle and feel that pulse and know it's a pulse. It's a heartbeat. It's the short comes in, the short goes out. It's feast and famine. It's the tide. You know what I mean? But to have the mental wherewithal for these moments, to have a kinship, so we can blurt it out, because this time next year, you know, I'm sure I'm going to be working the films so much that there'll be so much money coming in, but I won't be home. You know what I mean? And so right now I'm home, but there's no money, you know? So it's like, where's my value? Where's my value? Yeah. So do one thing each day. Be present. Be present. Be present of where you want to get to and where you are right now. And know that it's obtainable, and it's a cipher. It is a cipher, but it starts in here, and you have to connect to the end result. Because if you break and you feel it's hopeless, as some people do, and right now it's real easy to bite that, then you start living in trash, and you stop caring because you feel like I really am a slave. I got nothing. And then you start treating the people around you the same way because you have no self-worth. And it's like, start finding the little bits of value and build them up. And it's a fleeting moment because no one's going to remember us when we die. So remember your moments of life, because, you know, you even say like people in history, there's only 0.001% of people in history that get written down, that are talked about these days, you know, unless you're the president. Somebody said to me, and I was like, how many presidents can you name? And they were the president of the United States. You know what I mean? So even that, right? So
yes,
take care of your immediate circle, but start here, and then get your pulse bigger and take care of those moments. Be present for those moments, because no one is going to remember you, and you're in the driver's seat. You are the hero of the game right now. You're somebody else's NPC, if they even exist, but like treat them like they're their hero in their game, because that's how they see it. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's all I got. That's my final note.
All right. Well, good thoughts, and I appreciate them, bro. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for taking the time.
Find your moment to create. Find your moment to create every day.
I almost bailed out of this talk because I was like so tired, and but then
I knew you needed to talk, and I needed to also. I don't talk to many people, you know, except when I'm collaborating with them. And this is Wednesdays, you know, when I have energy. This is one of my favorite collaborations.
Man, I needed this, and I do feel more energized and more hopeful, because, man, it's easy to lose sight of, like you said, just these little things, like, you know, and you said it's like, oh man, I don't have the time, but I got the money, or I have the money, but then I don't have the time, and it's a constant struggle, but it's kind of orchestrated that way, and somehow we gotta still find value in it. So, and it's a beautiful thing. So I guess I'm gonna put more Alan Watson in my life, because his name popped up a couple times in this, and man, he was There's some great talks that have lived on, and that still have such a great frequency and vibration, such a great inspirational focus on, man, how to just acknowledge that this is all play and it's all fleeting. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you, and you are me, and I am you, and man, it's great.
Make it your movie.
And then we'll circle around, and sometimes the songs are there, you know, and it's like, man, I'm gonna recircle around, and I'm gonna listen to these songs that I haven't listened to in a long time. I'm the walrus, you know.
Look how that inspired. Look how it inspired Jeff Lynne's entire world. So much so that half a century later, he was here playing it with friends.
Lovely.
That he helped bring from Australia, the other side of the planet, because that song, "I Am the Walrus," one song. Make that one song. Love you, man.
Peace out. Till next time.
Much love.
Something too.
Wizard Man, somebody's from across the pond. Rev. Wizard Man!
Oh, Wizard Man!
Somebody's from the frozen land! Shiggity sizzle!
You're still here? Go away. What are you doing?